Welcome back, YouTubers. I am Jason Worsma. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and today we have to break down some values and busts, so to speak, at their current average draft position. We're going to look at running backs and wide receivers, mainly out there. We might dabble into some quarterbacks, late round quarterbacks, and tight ends that are notable that I think, because that's how you do it. You don't go out there and draft your quarterbacks and your tight ends, because people be like, oh, maybe people with Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in the last 2 years, they won the league. That's because they got Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in the 9th and 10th round of the year they drafted them when they won these leagues. So we got to go out there, we got to get these diamonds in the rough, and we got to get it sexy for you. We're going to start it off here and go back of the first round. You know, starts when it gets those clump of running backs, maybe some Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill types start getting into the mixes for you. But those back-end running backs we're looking at, I'm going to be picking up the 9-hole. I'm picking up the 9-hole this Saturday in another FFPC Football Guys Players Championship League, like we just did that high-stakes draft. Haven't checked that out. Go check that out on the page. Me and Travis did a high-stakes draft out of the 10-hole this last week. I'm going to be out of the 9-hole this time, and I'm looking for Josh Jacobs again like we did. I like to change it up sometimes, but I've been looking at it, doing a lot of mock drafts. I'm thinking out of the 9-hole. I'm thinking about going running back, 4 straight wide receivers because of 2 flex, then running back, then a tight end running back combo, and then running back in the 9th and 10th round. So I'm still going to leave the first 10 rounds with 5 running backs. I'm going to go pass catching running backs in that 1 stud at the 9-hole, I do believe. But back to what I've been talking about. Josh Jacobs, I think, is the value here at the end of the first round. I'm scared off of Mixon a little bit. They say the migraines wasn't necessarily just about the contract situation. They said he actually has migraines. That's freaking me out. He also plays for the Bengals. Left a sour taste in my mouth for the first 6 or 7 weeks. Last year, really fucking tanked one of my leagues last year. Did Joe Mixon. So I'm probably going to go Josh Jacobs at 9. Even if Derrick Henry is still available, somebody please get down in that comment section and talk me off. Talk me off the bridge, babe, because I'm talking about drafting Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry out there. My buddy Funbag's kind of calling me crazy out there for wanting Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry. I just don't know. Derrick Henry only played what, 59% of snaps last year. That's freaking me out. But also is giving me some love for some Darrington Evans later on in the draft, like we will talk about. They might only keep 2 running backs on the Titans. If Darrington Evans is getting 40% of his team's running back carry, he might offer weekly flex play along with super sexy deluxe upside if anything were to happen to Derrick Henry. So I'm talking about Josh Jacobs here at the end of the first is your value. When it comes back around, you're probably looking at to go running back, and I think my cutoff for that is right around the Miles Sanders, Austin Eckler range. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take Nick Chubb in these half-point, full-point PPR leagues over Tyreek Hill. I've been going a lot of, like I said, running back and 4 wide receivers. I'm going a lot of Jacobs and Tyreek there at that 9 at the turn there, at the turn. But I am just not on Kenyon Drake. He's one of my busts out of that first round. I'm just not about it. I know he can go out there and just absolutely get it sexy, but I've been targeting more of the Chase Edmonds later in that 7th and 8th round than I am in the Drake into that first round. So that's how you do it, because you don't want to invest. You draft Drake, then you got to go out there and pay that 7th and 8th round to get yourself some Edmonds. So you're kind of, you're handcuffing yourself out there. Go out there, you pass on Drake, and you get yourself Edmonds in the 7th and 8th round. Now you got a sexy deluxe guy like your first player on your bench. And if something were to happen to Drake, or if he falters at all, Edmonds is the type of guy that can step right into that role and get it sexy deluxe for you, baby. All right, so if you're going back into the first, picking from the 8 spot on, I'm probably usually going running back. If guys like Chubb are available and Tyreek Hill is gone. Tyreek Hill is my last wide receiver that I'm willing to take over guys like Chubb and Mixon and Eckler and Sanders over there at the running back position in that second pick in the second round at the back end of the draft. But when it comes back around to you, it gets a little bit more dicey out there when it comes back to you. Oh, we get this shit going on. Got some technical difficulties here, boys. Go up for me, skanks. What's going on here, skanks? Alright, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. Alright, we're moving it, we're moving it. It is moving. Alright. You know, you start getting a little bit more of a problem down there when you're picking in that first 3 picks. You know, you're getting your sexy boy running backs and your McCaffreys, your Barkleys, your Zeke. When it's coming back to you, maybe all the wide receivers are gone. You know, Hopkins is gone, Godwin is gone, Julio is gone, and, you know, maybe even Kenny Galloway's gone. He's probably not gone, though. He's probably there for you. And that's the guy I think we got to be looking at for you. I mean, unless the only way I'm going running back, if I got one of those first 3 picks, if somehow Aaron Jones finds his ass back to me in the end of the second. Otherwise, no way. I'm not touching Chris Carson. I'm not touching James Conner with that early 3rd round pick, that late 2nd round pick. No fucking way. I mean, you look at these guys going late 2nd, early 3rd running backs. They're absolutely gross. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is the only one I'd want. And he's the only one coming into week 1. We're not even sure of his role. We got Chris Carson, James Conner, David Johnson, Todd Gurley. I mean, these players are gross, boys. Absolutely gross deluxe out there. So if you're sitting back there, it comes back around, you got one of your second sexy deluxe running backs. I'm thinking about going pop off some 2 wide receivers right there. Maybe you get some Galladay. Maybe you need to double down with some Mike Evans there when it comes back around to the turn for you, and feeling pretty good about yourself. And, you know, later on you can go out there and you can get yourself some running backs when it's coming back to that 4 or 5 turn. Don't worry about it. You get yourself some running back. Get to that RB2. People like, what about Word? What about my RB2? Word, like, don't worry about your RB2. About to talk about your RB2. About to talk about who you need to be targeting in that 4th, 5th round turn. And I'm looking at guys like Raheem Mostert. I know people are like, where Raheem Mostert, 49ers always be doing that running back shuffle. I feel like nobody had, the 49ers had what, like 2 carries under 500 carries last season in the 16 regular season weeks. That is absolutely insane out there. I mean, Mostert even gets half of that. We're looking at a top 15 running back. So I'm looking at strapping on some Mostert. I like some Cam Akers, even though I know I'm just afraid that the Malcolm Brown bone might rear its evil head out there week 1. Make you very upset. But I do like me some Cam Akers at that juncture as well. But I mean, you know, you got to get down on a couple of those guys right there, because if you wait a little bit longer, then you might as well wait for the PPR guys like James White and Tariq Cohen to come around. Because you wait a bit longer, you wait for Mark Ingram, and not even Mark Ingram. You wait for Mostert, and you wait for Cam Akers to slide away from you in that 4th or 5th round, and it gets pretty gross pretty fast, because you're starting to look at, you know, a bunch of unproven bums out there. Like we were looking at Montgomery, who's got that groin issue. Montgomery used to be in my 5th round target for running back list. Went over there, pissed all over me. The Bears did not bring in any other running backs, so I know the Bears are stubborn out there. They're type of dickweeds that think they're the smartest people in the room no matter what is going on. But I don't know, not bringing anybody in, looking to run out Ryan Nall and Tariq Cohen week 1. I mean, that's telling me maybe Montgomery's growing issue maybe isn't all that bad. So if he starts getting Montgomery into the 6th or 7th round, I would definitely start thinking about being invested in that. All right, we're going to flip it around here. We're going to flip it around. Like I said about that back-end strategy about going running back with the Jacobs and then Tyreek Hill and then wide receiver, because we're talking about playing in a lot of 2 flex leagues here. People talking about playing a lot of 2 flex leagues. When we're playing in 2 flex leagues and half-point or full-point PPR, you got to be banging. You got to be banging out there with them 4 wide receivers. So we're going out there. We're going to get some Jacobs. We're going to get some Tyreek. And it's going to come back to our ass here in the 3rd round. We're probably going to be looking at getting some, like the likes of DJ Moore. Who are we looking at being available? Oh, yeah, Allen Robinson, DJ Moore. Look at all these sexy boys. Robert Woods, A.J. Brown. Those type of dudes are going at the 3-4 turn. We're going to pop off 2 of those dudes. And when it comes back again in the 5th round, we're not afraid to pop it off again. There's a couple of sexy boys at wide receiver at the end of the 5th round. I'm into 2 in Cortland Sutton and Marquise Hollywood Brown. I'm going to get down on some of that action too. And then you just load up. You get that 6th round at running back. You go for those pass-catching running backs unless you want to go high ceiling. You know, you got your Swifts and your Dobbins out there in the 6th round as well. But you can go out there, you can get yourself some James Whites, get yourself some Tariq Cohens. Feel pretty good about your RB2 going out there and not sucking on that wean week 1. Then you go out there in the rounds right after that and get yourself some Matt Breidas and the like, and you feel pretty, and Zach Mosses of the world going at that end of the 7th and that 8 turn. So you go out there in the next round after you get your James White and Tariq Cohen, you go out there and get yourself some Zach Moss and fucking, who I talk about, Matt Breida, Latavius Murray types out there, and you feel pretty fucking good about yourself. So now you're fucking strapping it on. You got your Josh Jacobs, you got your Tyreek Hill, you got your DJ Moore, you got your Robert Woods, you got your Hollywood Brown, and now in your RB2 spot, you got your some Tariq Cohen, Zach Moss, Matt Breida, James White types, and I'm telling you boys, that is getting it fucking done. You know what I'm saying about that? Is getting it fucking done out there. But you know, now we're going to talk about some guys. I don't even know what this video is really about, you know, just kind of me rambling about draft strategy, I guess. Well, maybe we call this, I was going to call it values and busts, maybe we call this draft strategy out there. Maybe we call this draft strategy, alright. I know a lot of these fucking drafts that you guys are going to be in, they're going to be fucking week 1, or this is going to be the highest draft week of the year. I'm sorry, boys, might have ripped a couple dabskis before we started the video, but we're going to go out there and we're going to look at some busts in the first few rounds. We're going to look at some landmines, guys that I'm not touching with fucking Decker's dick out there. I'm not touching with Decker's dick, boys. And we're talking about guys like all these 3rd round running back dick bums that I was just talking about. Like Chris Carson, like you may be able to talk me into Chris Carson. Maybe. But you ain't talking me into David Johnson, Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, or Mark Ingram. You're fucking not. I am not allowing you to talk me into these 3rd round running backs out there. That's what I'm saying. You got to go running back, or you got to go, you got to say you go 1 running back and then say fuck running back until the 5th, 6th round out there. Because you don't want to be out there dicking around with these fucking assholes in the 3rd or 4th round when all these sexy deluxe wide receivers are going off the board and you're taking fucking Le'Veon Bell. You don't want to be caught up in that shit, boys. Alright, and then, you know, what's the wide receivers, you know, wide receivers home is like 3rd through the 7th round, let's say. 3rd through the 7th round. Then the wide receiver value kind of stays the same from the 7th round to, let's say, the 14th round. You know, there's a lot of ifs, a lot of maybes, a lot of buts going on out there with the wide receivers in the middle rounds. But these running backs out there, you got to go out there, you got to grind some of these running backs in these 8th, 9th, 10th round. You got to get some of these because I'm telling you, you want to come out of the first 10 rounds with 5 running backs on your team. I'm not saying you got to pay the piper. I'm saying you get one in the 1st, you get one in the 5th or the 6th, and then you back-ass it up with the 8th, 9th, and 10th pick, and you hope to get it sexy. Like I'm talking about, you get your Chase Edmonds is. He's going in the 9th round currently on the fantasy football calculator ADP, but we'll check out where Chase Edmonds went in our high stakes leagues. Let's give you a little more idea of what the fucking experts really are. Right, he went middle of the 8th, so he did get a full round bump in the high stakes leagues. There's a lot of respect going on over there. A lot of people who know their shit. A lot of sharks swimming in the water over there. So you got to expect these guys that I'm in love with, and you know, maybe you're in love with too, to pay the piper a little bit out there because they're going to see. We got some Antonio Gibson. He's been rising a little bit. His average average at the 7.5. We got him at the 7.10 in that FFPC. I'm down with him in that 7th round. This is Zach Moss, late 7th. When Zach Moss go? Zach Moss went early 8th, so it's pretty on that as well. So you're looking at, you know, guys like Zach, like this is gonna get sexy for you out there. James White, Zach Mosses of the world, Antonio Gibson's, Philip Lindsay's. These dudes can go out there and be decent back-end RB2s. These dudes can be top 20 running backs. And if you're balls deep with those 4-banger wide receivers with a solid RB1, I think you're fucking in there, boys. What do you think? Any more fucking landmines to be avoided here? Kind of just rambling out there. Alright, so yeah, that's the plan. You got to get in there in these 8, 9, and 10 rounds, and you got to get yourself, you know, because you look at these wide receivers going, the rookie wide receivers start going, and I'm down with rookie wide receivers, but not in the 8th, 9th round. You got to get your rookie wide receivers like your Brian Edwards of the world. You get them in the 13th, the 14th round. You going out there? Yeah, look at this. Tariq Cohen, last pick of the 8th. Solid, sexy, deluxe production, at least for the first full point PPR. Tariq Cohen, who says his Montgomery groin issue doesn't linger on into the season. They didn't bring anybody in. There's not going to be Ryan Nall to the fucking world. Ain't going to be Ryan Nall to fucking anything, boys. All right. You like what you see? I don't know. You know, I just went on a little rambling trip for you right there. Like the cut of my jib. Maybe you throw me a like. Maybe you throw me a sub. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go fuck yourself. All right there, boys. Holler at me. Comment section below. Got any draft questions? Got any kind of questions? Go out there. Put them down there below. I will get back to you. I always do. All right. Holler at me.
I'm hot as fuck, bitch.